Hello there, Dawn here. The person, not the time. I'm 83, manage the books at a powdered custard factory, and now I've been given an iPhone 5 and a new lease of life by being asked to film an online diary for the local news, for an older person's perspective on the virus. In my day, Mother would have simply paid a local vagrant to sneeze in our mouths, and that would have been that. I want you to know that I've been overwhelmed to receive your private responses to my little videos. And to Jill Cross in Southport, I do hope you sort out your vulvodynia, darling. Crystal healing may work for some, but good old antibiotics are worth a punt sometimes too, eh? You know, being in front of the camera takes me back to my days walking the boards at a restaurant shaped like a pirate ship in Southend-on-Sea. The sight of dough balls or check bandanas still fills me with an exotic dread. In any case, it feels wonderful to be able to help people from the safety of my own chair. I've been in the comfort of these 4 magnolia walls for about 47 days now, and except for running out of insulin and this stubborn cough, I'm perfectly fine. A grieving woman once asked me at her husband's funeral, "Why are you always so happy, Dawn?" And I took her by the arm of her threadbare cardigan and said, "Lisa, let us dip for a moment together into the finger buffet of the soul." I said, "Lisa, I'm going to teach you a meditation practice that I learned from a tree surgeon with very lovely arms. I breathe in, then I breathe out. And then I picture myself as the sole survivor in a terrible disaster. I visualize myself riding a lovely little lilac Dutch town bike past huge, endless piles of blackened, smouldering bodies. Oh, look, there's Mrs. Finnegan's house, burnt to a cinder. Perhaps you shouldn't have pushed past me in the Santander, dear. And there's the infant school, now just an unassuming pile of charred rubble. Those kids from number 6 won't be kicking their ball at the window anytime soon. And then here's me, totally unscathed, riding past with a lovely new hat on." She went to get an aspirin from the bar in the end and sadly passed herself a year later. So there you have it. In these times, I do think it's important one keeps a stiff upper lip. Unfortunately, mine's also been blessed with a pale but evident moustache, for which I can only recommend an hourly poultice of my own invention made of household bleach and marzipan. As much as we may all feel the urge to loosen our girdles and let ourselves turn into amorphous blobs, or to simply soil ourselves right now where we sit, I do think it's important to remain lovely at all times. as you never know when Mr. Right might come knocking at your door in overalls, asking for an oily rag to fix your back door. Aside from the ever-present anxiety, I personally stay trim with a strict diet of Andrew's liver salts in tin pears. Cut up or whole, they're the perfect snack and keep me regular as the 1604 from Gloucester. Who doesn't love daffodils? But let me just say this. It's fine to indulge one's imagination occasionally, but when you find yourself fantasizing about being waterboarded in an adapted shower by the swarthy shopkeep with 2 squashed Kalamata olives for eyes and the ghost of a herpes sore underneath his handlebar moustache, perhaps it's time to take your afternoon constitutional. It's now day 56, and perhaps like you, I am not yet extraordinary. Judging by other people's Instagram feeds, I'm expected to speak 15 languages, have washboard abs, and play the cello standing on my head. But instead, I remain eternally 3 bindies away from enlightenment. Well, if you ask me, dear, it's okay to be mediocre. After Richard passed, I taught myself how to unblock the John Thomas with a coat hanger and prepare a Bronze Award-winning fish pie. I find adding a tin of chopped whelks really lends the bechamel a seaside flavour. And in all honesty, that's more than can be said for a lot of these tryhards presenting themselves to the Graham's gingham altar like the painted whores of Babylon. Bug off, I say! Begone! Lastly, chums, I'll always advocate giving one pompadour a poke, but I must say to any of you considering adopting a high fringe out there, leave it at the orphanage, my dear. You simply haven't the face for it. Trust me, no one does. And to anyone attempting to persuade me otherwise with a shaggy bob, do you really want a haircut that sounds like the newspaper's description for a runaway Afghan hound on LSD? Anywho, I must go. I'm afraid I've got to take a pumice stone to my heels, and then the afternoon crossword demands my attention. 2 down, colloquial goodbye, 4 letters. I'm flummoxed. Ta-ta!